Diana Demrick here, welcome back to another cozy planning session. We're just taking a few minutes to plan for a hygge home, hygge life. I'll also be talking about our Danish spring and Easter traditions, a bit about that. Some interesting changes to my eyesight that I discovered last week at the age of 55. Let's just dive in with the planning. And remember, I have free editable printables if you need those. The main thing is that you don't get caught up in having to have the perfect planner or the perfect list. Grab a pen, a notebook, and let's get started. And this is my list for the week beginning the 20th of March. My projects for this week, still working towards our little trip to Berlin. I've been brushing up my German by watching some German TV. I'm watching Der Alte, which is a crime series. So that's been fun to kind of listen to some German. Also, I'm looking into travel in May to see my mum. We've also got birthdays coming up, confirmation parties. There's a lot going on in Denmark in the spring months. And also this week I've got quite a few items that I have decluttered a lot of the weekend. You'll see a video about that later this week. And I'm going to sell some of the items in my ladies group. So that's something that I also need to get done this week. Well-being, that's anything to do with exercise, checking in with friends, whether that's by telephone or whether we're physically meeting up. Just things to give me a bit of balance, because it's not all to be about the cleaning and about the house and all the chores. We've got to put ourselves up front and centre. I've got a swimming lesson with Sue, and I have to show you. Look at this. Last week I got a badge, and I've actually already sewed it onto one of my swimming towels. I got a badge for swimming 500 meters. Now, you know me, I'm not a strong swimmer at all. I don't think I've ever swum 500 meters all in all in my life, because I'm a winter swimmer, so I just do short distance where we're in the cold water. And pool swimming is not me. And look at that, I got a badge, so go me. So if I can do it, you can do it. Very proud of that. And I know lots of you are really strong swimmers, but for those of you who know me, you'll know that's a big achievement for me, so go me. Anyway, and otherwise I've got my bike ride. I'm usually out my bike every day, running errands, or down to the sea with my besties for a skinny dip sea swim. I'll be meeting my friend, my bestie Erica from America, where we're going to go for a city walk, but actually we've just signed up for an event in a department store here, so we'll do that. Getting in touch with my friend Catherine, because we need to nail down either a concert or an early dinner in town within the next couple of weeks or next month. I also want to go onto the library's website and have a look for more books and audio books, because that's a good way for me to get my self-care. And out for a run, I do that at least once a week, usually at the weekend. And on to the cleaning, or just going that way. Remember the reset clean, your power hour. I like to do mine at the beginning of the week. Try and fit it in after work on a Monday, or otherwise I spread it over the week. If you need videos about that, I've got plenty in my Flylady refresher course, so you can see me in action doing my cleaning. And we are in Flylady Zone 4 this week. I'm updating all my lists so you can edit them. And in today's blog post, you will see the list. Screenshot it, download it, print it out, or you can actually get the template through Canva and make your own. Remember here, and I don't want to call this a checklist. It is not a checklist. It's just a list of ideas, and what I try and do is at the beginning of the week, I do a 15-minute session, I set my timer, Flylady timer, and I see how much I can get done, and then over the course of the week, I'll just do things, 2 minutes here, 3 minutes there. And I've also got a list of items that I might like to declutter. And this week, I will be putting a lot of clothes items on probation. That means I will wear them, force myself to wear them, whether that's a scarf, or maybe it's a top, or maybe it's a blazer, and actually wear them, because quite often you may be looking your wardrobe and saying, oh, not today for this one. Why do you keep jumping over certain items? So I put them on probation, I wear them, usually at the weekend, or if I don't have coaching clients. And then quite often I can see as soon as I wear the thing, if I'm feeling like changing it by the end of the day, it's not working for me. So I've got quite a lot of items. They're on probation this week. because we have another swap party next week and I want to get them out of my wardrobe. And if you are completely new to routines, to cleaning by zones, what I would like you to do this week is don't worry too much about the detailed stuff in the zones. Just do the usual thing, set a timer, pick up and put away as many things as you can in the room, and then give it a really good vacuum, because that is how you will see really, really strong results. But make sure that you've done your daily routines and your power hour before you get into any of the zone stuff, okay? Moving quickly on to the menu ideas. This week we are having butter chicken, we'll be doing noodles one night, lingongrutta, which is my Swedish summer house stew. I've got a video for that. Miller, which is Danish open sandwiches on a day that I'm going to be out late. Chicken parcels, straight from the freezer on a day that my hubby is away travelling. Steaks with homemade fries, and I'm going to make up a big pot of spicy carrot soup. A lot of you have asked for the recipe for that. It's just a basic carrot soup, but instead of just adding in stock, I also add in coconut milk and a wee bit of sriracha sauce to spice it up, which is really good right now when the weather's not fantastic. I've got a bit of a runny nose at the moment, and it's funny because as soon as we kind of come into slightly spring weather, that's when the pollen starts. Are you the same? Because poor Vibeke, my bestie, her eyes were running the other day. She's already on her allergy tablets. I'm a bit the same. Errands, I don't have much on my list for this week. And remember, errands is anything that you can do when you're outside the house. Your grocery shop, maybe you are handing things into the library, maybe you need to pick up dry cleaning, maybe you need to go to the hardware store. Get them down on your list so that way when you're out and about you don't forget anything. Any other business, our clocks go forward, spring forward, you know, fall back. And the tradition here in Denmark is that when the clocks go forward, that's when you put your garden furniture out. And then when the clocks go back in the autumn, in the fall, that's when you put your garden furniture back into storage. So that's what we will be doing this weekend. We've got a few things we'll put out in the garden. And then I said to you I would mention about our Danish Easter traditions, spring traditions. I've cut some branches from the garden, and what we traditionally do here is make them like into a little tree, or a little Easter egg tree. I'll be adding more as we get towards Easter. And I've got my little birds here, and it's just a way that we kind of welcome spring, welcome Easter. We bring the outside inside. I've got some daffodils. I actually bought these at IKEA the other day and added some moss from the garden and some eggs that I had in my Easter decoration box. And in Danish these are called påskeliljer, which means Easter lilies. How apt. And our kids have now moved out and they're in their own apartments, but I shall be hanging up some of the things that they made when they were small. I usually hang these in the hall. And if you want a really simple thing to do with your kids, it's a Danish classic, is that you take some cotton wool, make sure it's damp, and then you can put it in some kind of little holder or in an old, the base of a milk carton, and you can grow cress. Where's my cress seeds? And I bought cress seeds last year, here we are, and these are good through until 2024, so I'm growing a bit of cress. And I just warn you that the smell is a bit weird with cress when it first starts. It's kind of got a really meaty smell. And these will take about 7 to 10 days, 2 weeks to sprout. So if you want them for your Easter table, start now. And one other thing that I'll be doing for my kids is making them a secret snowdrop letter. Now, if you want to know how to do this, I've got a really old video that I made, 5 years ago here on YouTube. The kids can make them as well, and it's a very easy paper craft, and you write a little rhyme on it, and I've also got the rhyme if you want to put that in with it. And the idea is that you send it to somebody that you know, and you don't sign it with your name, you sign it with dots. And if they can guess who it came from, you have to give them an Easter egg. And if they can't guess who it came from, they have to give you an Easter egg. So it's a really sweet little Danish tradition. I call it secret snowdrop letter. We call it gekkebrev in Danish. If you want to know how to make that, I've got a video and I'll put the link down below. And do you have that tradition where you are? Is that something that you do? As far as I can tell, this is a pure Danish tradition. No other country in the world has the hygge. And one other thing I was going to tell you, a couple of weeks ago I made an appointment to get my eyes tested. I get my eyes tested once a year, and I'm 55, and of course your eyesight changes as you get older. And I went to opticians, and they always check, you know, how is it going when you're working at the computer or when you're driving. And I've discovered that my eyesight has changed again. And up until now, I've had one contact lens in my right eye. I'm nearsighted. Anyway, I'm trying new contact lenses, or a new mix now. I've got a far-sighted contact lens in my left eye, and I've got a nearsighted contact lens in my right eye. And the brain can work out what to do. So that means that when I'm doing things like I'm driving, it's more comfortable because I can see further. And yet when I am on my telephone, or I am in, you know, the supermarket, and you pick up something, you can't read the back of it, and you're always thinking, is there a child who can read this for me? I can actually see better. I don't know if you're like me, but I just thought this was so crazy. I'm kind of plus in one eye and minus in the other, but the brain can apparently work it out. So anyway, just a wee reminder to keep making sure that you check up with your doctor, that you keep going to dental checks. We really have to look after ourselves at all ages, and not just when you have time to do it, but make time to do it. Anyway, oh, I can see my little squirrel's coming back, and I need to go and feed him. And I shall see you later on this week, because I've got a lot decluttered. I'm looking forward to showing you that. I need to get my jacket on, get back to work, and all I've got left to say is live long and prosper. May the Danish Easter and spring hygge be with you. I'll see you very soon with the rap. Okay, bye for now.